What exactly is competence and why is competence important? When we go through, when we're young, we go to school, we write exams, we keep growing without actually doing anything. Yeah, right. Like, you go to primary school, let's start with primary one. Go to primary one, you they tell you everything, read, right? I don't know if they tell you to read in primary one because I don't remember my primary one. But basically, read, write your exams, pass, and then you move up to the next class, primary two. The same thing, read, pass the exam, move on to the next class, primary three. So without your active participation, you're not the one that decided, let me read and pass my exam so I can go to the next class. There's a structure for it already. So you didn't actually do anything. Do you understand? And for most of your life, that's how it has been. But there's no school for employment. There's no school for how to navigate employment. There's no school for how to navigate business, which I think is something we need to do. It's something I'm going to work on. There really should be a school for how to navigate employment and how to navigate business. So what do I mean? When you get your first job, there's no exam to write to get you to the next level. There's no curriculum. Do you understand? Unlike school where you pass your maths, pass your English, pass your this, and you go to the next level. When it comes to a job, what is the maths? What is the English? And because there's no curriculum, everybody or most people think that it is random. Most people think that there's nothing, like there's no particular thing to do that will get you to the next class. In fact, the most popular thought is that it's a matter of time. Like if you stay somewhere for like 2 years, you are supposed to be promoted. Or if you stay somewhere for like 3 years, they are supposed to promote you. That's why you hear people saying, I've been working there for 5 years, no promotion. Do you understand? Because the assumption is that the amount of time you spend working somewhere is what will get you promoted. Am I making sense? All right. The truth is, there is a structure to it. There's actually maths, English, there are courses you need to pass that will get you promoted anyway. And one of those courses is competence. Competence is like maths. You have to pass it if you are going to get promoted. So what exactly is competence? When a role is created in an organization, so let's use a very simple role like a gate man. All right. What usually prompts an organization to create a role is a need. So for example, we just build a new fence and we put a gate. All right. What that means is that when people are driving, when the people want to drive in, somebody needs to open that gate. All right. When somebody has opened the gate, somebody needs to close it back. All right. Now, that gate has warranted a need for a role called gateman. The purpose of that role is when somebody is driving in, the gateman opens the gate. The person driving, gateman closes the gate back. So the organization will put out an ad. Gateman needed. This is how much we are paying. What is the job description? Open the gate as soon as somebody gets to the gate. Close the gate, after the person has driven in or out. All right? Good. Now, a people have, you have submitted your application, somebody has been employed. Competence is when somebody actually drives to the gate is open. When somebody drives in, the gate is closed at every given time. Do you understand? That's competence. Competence is just doing exactly what was described in your job description. Do you understand? Most people are not competent. I just want you to understand that because based on what I've described now, it seems simple. I mean, yeah. It sounds like of course now. I mean, yeah. But guess what? Most people are not competent. That very simple thing that we just described, most people are unable to do it. So you would see scenarios where you get to the gates, the gate man is not there. You are hunting and hunting and hunting for the gate man. That's incompetence. Or multiple cars are entering and the gate man leaves the gate that when everybody has entered, they will go and lock it. Everybody enters, the gate man is nowhere, the gate is open. That's incompetence. You know why most people are not competent? What? Because that's the regular question. All right. So the reason why most people are not competent is because they think that having a good excuse makes it okay to not do their job. Do you understand? Yeah. So, for example, if rain is falling, all right, rain is falling, it's a good reason for the gate man to not be at the gate. Now, rain is falling now. You want me to stand under the rain? That's a good reason, right? You see, but if rain is falling and the gate man is not at the gate, he's incompetent. Because guess what? You can get that umbrella. In anything that comes up in your line of duty, the context within which you would respond is from the context of competence. Let me explain that. If you are at the gate and rain is about to fall, all right, the way you are going to respond to rain that is about to fall is that I must be at this gate to open the gate no matter what. And that's what is going to drive your next thoughts. Jonathan, but if you think about what is about to happen before you think about your job, that's when you go and look for a way to hide yourself so that rain doesn't beat you. Do you understand? Do you see the difference? Some situations might not be convenient. So, for example, rain is falling, you have to get umbrella. All right? Maybe you are not earning enough. Do you understand? That umbrella that you got, all right, it makes more sense that after your job, you go and meet the management and they need to reimburse you for the umbrella. Do you understand? That makes more sense. Guess what? There are places where you probably won't be reimbursed. There are places where they say you sent you to buy umbrella. Do you understand? But that's not an excuse for you to be incompetent. Do you get? Competence is not dependent on where you are. Let me explain why that particular thing is very important. Let's assume that's what happens, right? Like in that case, maybe they won't just and they won't reimburse you for your umbrella. So you don't buy the umbrella and you're not at the gate when it is raining. All right? Mm-hmm. So people are coming, they are running, they are not letting you in, all of that. If there's supposed to be a change in management, all right, and somebody who actually understands these things becomes the manager, will the person think you are competent? At some point, the person was outside too, hunting for you to come and open the gate. You were not there. Jonathan, now he has become the manager, even though he would have been the type of person to reimburse you for your umbrella. You are already not competent. Jonathan, do you see why it's important that your competence is not affected by, external factors? Does this make sense? So that's the first reason um why people are speaking non competence. The second reason is lack of intentionality. So what is intentionality? Intentionality is essentially planning ahead to do what you say you are going to do or what you are supposed to do. So it's very common to see a situation where you're supposed to let's say you're supposed to open your let's use the gate man example, right? You know that your job is from 7 to from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. All right, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. All right. The previous day you didn't eat dinner. All right. You came to work very early. You didn't eat breakfast. Right. And then by 8 a.m. you now, leave the gates to go and eat breakfast. Did you intend to work 7 to 1 or 7 to 3? No. Based on the things that happened before 7, it was already clear that you did not intend to work that 7 to 3. Your intention was that you would take a break to go and eat. Being intentional means that you are working 7 to 3. So anything that will distract you from your work between that 7 to 3, you deal with it before or after your work period. Jonathan, you get? That's what being intentional is about. And in a lot of situations, when you see something like that, so the gate man by 8 goes to go and eat breakfast. It's not at the gate, he gets fired. The narrative would be that they fired him because he went to eat. Jake, will he not eat? Do you understand? But the truth is, it just was not intentional about it. He didn't plan to do the job. That's what it means. Do you understand? So when you look at your KPI, you look at what you're supposed to do every day, and that's one of the first things you're going to need to do if you're going to be competent. You're going to need to look at your KPI every single day. The reason why you're looking at your KPI every day is so that you can plan to achieve it. It's not during your work day that you'll be figuring out how to achieve your KPI. Do you understand? Now I'm just using very simple examples, right? I'm using very simple examples, but intentionality, it goes beyond that, right? Intentionality, so you can also intend to do your job sharply. Are you aware? So let me bring this up. Let me put it in context. Let me put it in context to show you a more detailed um explanation of how intentionality works. So you're in charge of production, essentially, right? When you are giving a tailor an outfit to produce, right? What image do you have of that product? What is on your mind when you are giving that tailor the product? When you are looking at products, when you are checking, doing the keyword, what is in your mind? The features of products came out as in the picture, right? What's in your mind when you are giving the tailor the products to produce? Excellent. Which is fine. Which is fine. But guess what? Okay, what's in your mind? The first thing that comes to my mind is this person competence. The tailor. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. These are all good points. These are all good points. But you know what should be on your mind? What should be on your mind is the person that is paying for it. Yeah, that's what should be on your mind. Right. If you consider the fact that these jackets that I'm producing, somebody is paying 45,000 for it, it will shape the way you think about the jacket. It will shape the way you think about it. It will change everything about how we are thinking about that jacket. Jonathan, if you consider the fact that, first of all, go deeper, think about what kind of person will pay 45K for a jacket. What kind of person will he be? Jonathan, when you think about the kind of person that would be, now move forward to this type of person is paying 45K for a jacket. What do you think he will be expecting? Do you understand? It will change everything about how you are thinking about that gadget. You know you have not even started working on it. Do you see how intentionality works?